The next big crisis, why the EV market crash, is only the start. Today, we are going to investigate the landscape of electric cars, EVs, which is both fascinating and not without its share of concerns. The way forward may be filled with difficulties, despite the fact that electric vehicles have been hailed as the transportation paradigm of the future. We take a closer look at the reasons why the future of electric vehicles might not be as straightforward as many people had anticipated it would be. The dependence on complicated software systems is one of the most significant challenges that electric vehicles must contend with. New vulnerabilities are introduced as a result of the fact that modern electric vehicles are dependent on software for essential operations, such as battery management and autonomous driving. In the year 2020, for example, a significant recall brought attention to these dangers when a software malfunction caused a decrease in the vehicle's range. Hackers have been able to remotely access and operate electric vehicles, which has raised serious worries regarding their safety. This is a result of the expanding threat of cyber attacks. Despite the fact that automobile manufacturers are making significant investments in cybersecurity, the ever-changing nature of cyber threats means that this will be a war that never ends. The establishment of secure software for vehicles and industry-wide standards is absolutely necessary in order to preserve the faith of consumers and guarantee their safety. There is a possibility that the dream of complete electrification proves to be more elusive than imagined. Recently, there have been indications that the electric vehicle market is beginning to slow pace. Industry leaders such as Tesla are facing large drops in sales despite the fact that they have successfully reduced their prices significantly. As an illustration, Tesla saw a relatively insignificant rise of 2.6% during the first quarter of the year, which was then followed by a significant decrease of 15.2% in sales when compared to the preceding quarter. Even further, Tesla's sales dropped by 17% during the months of April and May. The market is now facing a number of obstacles, the most prominent of which is the unwillingness of the middle class to fully adopt electric vehicles, EVs, in conjunction with the growing popularity of hybrids as an alternative that is more accessible. Since it is anticipated that electric vehicles will not surpass 30% of the worldwide market in the near future, the objective of fully electrifying the world appears to be getting farther and further away. Adding to these worries is the proliferation of electric vehicle (EV) junkyards. The market for used electric vehicles is practically non-existent, which has led to a concerning trend in which electric vehicles are viewed like disposable electronics. Due to the high expense and complexity of fixing the battery casing, which is typically welded and difficult to mend, insurance companies frequently write off electric cars, particularly after small crashes. This is caused by the fact that the battery casing is typically welded. The integrity of the battery can be compromised by even minor flaws, which is why insurance companies would rather consider writing off the vehicle rather than having to deal with the expense of repairs. Additionally problematic is the market for used electric vehicles. Because electric vehicles have a tendency to deteriorate at a much faster rate than conventional automobiles, consumers who are seeking a second-hand car are less likely to be interested in purchasing one. When it comes to maintenance, electric vehicles, EVs, can be more expensive than expected. This is because of the complexity of their design, which results in increased insurance and repair costs. Additionally, there is a shortage of educated personnel. The price of replacing the battery in an electric car can sometimes be higher than the worth of the vehicle itself, which further discourages prospective purchasers. Another degree of unpredictability is added by the fact that dealers have a great deal of leeway in determining the costs of replacement purchases. It is also necessary to make a considerable adjustment in lifestyle in order to make the transition to electric vehicles, which is something that many people, particularly those in the middle class, are not prepared to do. Major obstacles include high prices and a restricted number of models that are ideal for electric vehicles. Nevertheless, the most significant obstacle is the change in lifestyle that is required to drive an electric vehicle. The process of charging an electric vehicle takes significantly more time than the process of recharging a gas vehicle. Because of this, it is necessary to carefully prepare for extended journeys in order to avoid range anxiety and charging problems. This significant change in habit might be a major deterrent for many people who are considering purchasing an electric vehicle. Another worry is the issue of sustainability. In spite of the fact that electric vehicles are marketed as being more eco-friendly, the production of these vehicles actually results in a greater carbon footprint than the production of combustion vehicles. In addition, the bulk of the electricity that is produced around the world, including in the United States, is still generated by power plants that burn coal. This means that the claim of zero emissions and green energy for electric vehicles will continue to be doubtful so long as our electricity is sourced from these sources. Despite the fact that it was originally thought to be unavoidable, the rapid shift to electric vehicles is currently encountering serious obstacles. Many automobile manufacturers have been compelled to reevaluate their plans as a result of the slowdown in the industry and continued financial losses. Automobile manufacturers such as Ford and Chevrolet have postponed their electric vehicle (EV) projects, while European automobile manufacturers such as Mercedes-Benz and Volkswagen are reevaluating their timetables for moving to all-electric lineups. It is likely that internal combustion engines will continue to be widely used for the foreseeable future, as evidenced by the fact that both BMW and Toyota are concentrating their efforts on the development of new gasoline and diesel engines. A significant barrier to widespread adoption of electric vehicles is still the issue of affordability. In comparison to conventional automobiles powered by internal combustion engines, electric vehicles continue to be much more expensive, with typical prices ranging between $50,000 and $60,000. There is a dearth of reasonably priced alternatives that are equivalent to compact combustion vehicles, despite the fact that large discounts and government incentives are available. Automakers have had a difficult time lowering their production and running expenses, which has led to a concentration on luxury electric vehicles that are high-end and low volume, but do not appeal to the general public. Additionally, the charging infrastructure for electric vehicles has had a difficult time keeping up with the expansion of the market. There are now fewer than 40,000 chargers available in the United States, despite the fact that experts estimate that there will be a demand for 180,000 chargers by the end of the decade. The fact that public charging stations are frequently excessively expensive and unreliable is a deterrent for prospective purchasers, particularly those who do not have access to charging at home. Companies including BMW, General Motors, and Honda are currently working to construct a network of 30,000 chargers. Nevertheless, it is possible that this effort will not be sufficient. The electric vehicle market is confronted with significant challenges throughout its supply chain, particularly in relation to crucial components such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel. The cost of these raw materials has increased as a result of political instability and environmental laws in important mining locations, which has led to an increase in the price of electric vehicles and portable batteries. China's preeminence in the processing of rare earth elements also raises the possibility of an excessive reliance on a single nation. Alternatives and domestic mining initiatives are being investigated by automobile manufacturers, but progress is being made slowly. In addition, the problems with the supply chain are preventing the development of new technologies, such as solid-state batteries, due to the limited availability of resources and the expense involved. Taking action to address these difficulties is essential in order to overcome considerable obstacles to the expansion of the electric vehicle market and to ensure a seamless transition to widespread electrification. In conclusion, although electric vehicles have a tremendous deal of potential, the path towards complete electrification is fraught with challenges. There is a significant amount of difficulty, ranging from problems with software and cybersecurity to problems with price and insufficient charging infrastructure. There is still a lot of uncertainty around the future of the electric vehicle revolution, and it might be quite some time before we see a clear transition away from combustion engines. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.